Hello, what is up guys? EvilDuosArm here today, and today I have for you a video where we're going to be looking at one of the biggest questions I get asked all of the time about Blade & Soul, and that is how can I improve my ping, how can I get lower ping, how can I fix my latency issues, all of those questions regarding connectivity in Blade & Soul. So latency or ping is one of the biggest issues in the game. It limits what classes you can play, it dictates how much DPS you do, and generally the lower you get, the better your experience will be. So what I have for you are two programs that I've looked into that help to improve latency for a variety of players for differing reasons, as well as some general tips to improving your latency in Blade & Soul. Real quick before we get started, if you are new to the channel, new to the game, or just generally enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It does mean a lot to me. Without further ado, let's get into it. So rather than bore you with the basic checklist of things before we get into the programs, I'm just going to assume you've already plugged into an Ethernet cable, you've closed out all other programs that could possibly be consuming bandwidth, and your sister isn't watching Netflix in the room next door. If you haven't already done those, go plug into an Ethernet cable, close out all other apps, and a good trick I've found for getting people off of Netflix is just to unplug the cable from the router initially and say, oh no, the internet's down, and then just plug it back in at like 20-30 minutes later after they've given up. It's a great method. All joking aside, let's actually get into the two programs we're going to take a look at here. The two programs we're going to look at are going to be TCP Optimizer and Latency Latency Fix. So for those of you that don't know, the majority of online games do not use TCP anymore. The exception are your MMOs like WoW and Blade & Soul, as well as a select few number of FPSs. Basically, everybody in the gaming industry has moved away from it. However, because Blade & Soul still uses TCP, we can use these older TCP optimization programs to decrease our ping. So anyway, what I want to do before we get into the actual programs is get a baseline for what our ping is so we know what we're trying to reduce it down from. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack the training dummies at Mushin's Tower here, and as you can see, I'm hovering right around 150 ping right now. 155, 166, 150, 149. So we're bouncing around that 150 number. So we're looking to get something below 150 after we're done with this. So the first one we're going to look at is Latency Latency Fix. So this is a super easy one button click and you're done, and you're actually going to find this one on the World of Warcraft forums. So what this one does is it increases the number of acknowledgements that your computer sends to the server when it's communicating with it, and that is how it increases or decreases rather your ping or latency or whatever you want to call it. So this is really simple. It's just a quick download. It'll end up in your downloads folder. If you head to the downloads folder, you'll be able to extract it, head over to Latency Latency Fix, and run the program as an administrator. All you're going to have to do is click the install button where it says remove. I already installed it and the video didn't record because, you know, I suck. But anyway, just click the install button that's right here. In fact, I'll just hit remove, and now all you gotta do is click install. It's that simple. One button and you are good to go. For this to take effect, you're going to have to restart your computer. So we're going to do the other method or the other program right now and then restart it all at once and show you the improvements that we get. So just go ahead and close this out. So the next program we're going to look at is TCP Optimizer. This one can be picked up from speedguide.net. I will have the link as well in the description below, so you can go ahead and pick this one up yourself. But this program, in order to run, you'll need to run as an administrator, so go ahead and right-click on it, run as administrator. So when you get into this program, what you're going to want to do first is set your megabits per second or your download speed. This is the download speed option. So to get your download speed, you're going to want to go to a website like Speed Test, which I'll put a link to in the description below, so you can go there and do that, and set your megabits per second download speed. So my megabits per second is right around 100, so I'm going to go ahead and set mine up to the 100 option. After that, you're just going to make sure that your network adapter is selected, so whatever card your computer is currently using. So since I'm wired up on my Ethernet cable, it's in my dual band wireless AAC, blah, 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 blah. So I got that one picked, got that picked, all good to go there. Next thing we're going to want to do is just go ahead and click the optimal button. So now, if you are worried about messing anything up, there is the option to back up your current settings. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. We're going to drop it in the same exact file that I'm currently in, so this video file for this video. Click Save. So now I have a backup in case I mess anything up. All you got to do though is click the optimal button, apply changes, hit OK. You can also click the backup and it'll create the backup file now of what you currently have. But just go ahead and click OK if you've already done the backup. If not, go ahead and create a backup file at this point. And after you go ahead and get through that, it's going to ask you to restart your computer. So go ahead and click yes whenever you're ready, and that will reboot your computer, which will finish the Latency Latency Fix as well as the TCP Optimizer. So that's why we did this one second. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you in just a second. So we are back in Mushin's Tower, we're back here, and we're going to see what our ping is now after making those changes with those two programs. So if we remember from before, our ping was right around that 150 mark, so let's see how we're doing now. So as you can see, we're hitting 130 to 140 range. So the 130 to 140 range is a modest reduction in ping. So we went basically a 10 ms decrease. So 10 ms decrease for me from 150 to 140 is about a 7% improvement. So I improved my ping by about 7%. Now that's not a huge difference, but any little bit helps, especially in the world of ping. 10 milliseconds could be the difference between hitting a counter and a block or anything along those lines. So every little bit of an advantage you can do is beneficial. Now, of course, these settings only apply to my machine and my network connection. These settings might do nothing for you, they might do even more for you. The worst thing you can do is do it and nothing happens. There's literally nothing to lose and everything to gain. So go ahead and give this a try, see if it works for you, and I really do hope it improves your play experience in Blade & Soul. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and make sure you're subscribed to stay updated when new content comes out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you at the next video. Peace.